Welcome to Haas Pavilion, a pivotal Pac-12 matchup for you on this Super Bowl Sunday, along with Corey Williams, Roxy Bernstein with you for Colorado, who's won 3 straight, against the Cal Bears, who've also won 3 in a row, and 6 of their last 7, and both teams desperately needing a win here today. Cal in the home whites, the traveling blacks for Colorado, and Cal wins the opening tip with Ivan Rabb. Randy McCall, Tony Padilla, Frank Harvey are officials. As Charlie Moore, the freshman, leaner. And the rebound, Tory Miller making the start for Colorado today. A bit of a shakeup in the lineup for Tad Boyle and Colorado. Yet Colorado winning at Stanford on Thursday. They've won 3 in a row. Derek White inside to Tory Miller.
Tory Miller making an instant impact right there with the defensive board. Nice little jump hook in the lane.
Lineup for Cuonzo Martin and California today. As Grant Mullins missing the pull-up, and the rebound tipped out to Charlie Moore. Cal resets. Ivan Rabb stepping out, missing a 3, and Tory Miller the rebound for Colorado. As Miller, the junior from Kansas City, Kansas, getting the nod on the drive. Dominique Collier has his shot changed. Charlie Moore the crossover. Jabari Bird missing a 3, and a foul going for the rebound, and it's on the Buffaloes. Cuonzo Martin in his 3rd year at Cal. He's got 5 20-win seasons. Bears at 13-2 here at home, and career mark of 35-12 in the month of February. Foul on Derek White of the Buffs. Cal 16-6. Colorado at 13-10. It's been an up and down season for the Buffaloes. The lob, Ivan Rabb, the finish.
Beautiful play out front by Charlie Moore using that ball screen. And when he gets in the lane, you got a choice. Come to him or leave Rabb. You leave Rabb, that's 2 points.
Cal fans having good flashbacks to Thursday night, and Jabari Bird on the receiving end of a Charlie Moore pass that gave Cal the win.
What a way to finish a game. Great play, just very similar to that. Jabari Bird with some hops. Crunch time, big time.
Tory Miller squares up, and the shot blocked by Kingsley Okoro. And on the tie-up, the arrow points toward the Buffaloes.
When you let a point guard split the screen, you're asking for all kinds of trouble. Ivan Rabb will give it to you on the back end. Nice lob there. Good connection. He's got that floater, and Rabb so smooth along the baseline, knows when to step out to the corner for the jumper and when to attack the rim.
Lucas Seward on the drive, and a shot clock violation. The Buffs turn it over. Here is Tad Boyle going for his 200th career win in his 7th year in Boulder after 4 years in Greeley at Northern Colorado. Grant Mullins from deep. And the rebound. Jabari Bird hustling to keep it alive for Cal. Inside to Kingsley Okoro. Okoro backing down Lucas Seward. Charlie Moore. Great.
That's been textbook for Cal all season, the inside out. Cal with some great passing big men. I wish I'd have played with big men that gave it up like that back in the day. Good vision right there by Okoro.
Kick out to Lucas Seward. He rattles out a 3, the freshman from Brazil. But the Buffs get it back. Dominique Collier missing from deep, and there's Rabb inside. Charlie Moore. Backdoor for Bird. And he tried the around the world reverse. And bodies piling up underneath the hoop as Colorado brings it back the other way. And Ivan Rabb comes away with it for the Bears.
Great hustle by Mullins right there. He was beat, but he didn't give up on the play and got the steal for Cal.
Charlie Moore lost it going up. And Rabb lays it in, and Tad Boyle wondering where the travel call was.
You may have a legitimate complaint there, but you got to play till you hear the whistle. There was no whistle when Moore lost the ball.
Awkward sequence benefits Cal. Collier, the lob to Tory Miller.
Nice little two-man game right there. Collier keeping the defender on his hip. Very nice play.
Grant Mullins off on a three, and there's Miller again on the defensive glass for the Buffs. 3 rebounds already for Miller.
And you see immediately his impact to bring some size, defending Ivan Rabb, and also to hit the glass. He's done a good job to start the game.
Derek White from deep, and White ties the game.
White's one of those triple threat players known to penetrate, but there just a basic handoff showing his range on the jumper.
White, a prolific scorer at the Division II level, closing in on 2,300 career college points. And a foul on the drive. It's on Lucas Seward of Colorado. Tied at 7, the Buffs and the Bears from Berkeley.
Bears are not going to take a timeout. 6 to go. Here's Moore. He got fouled. No call. Lob it into Bird. He jams it home with 2.1 seconds to play. Bears have the lead. Utah to inbound the basketball. They get it into Daniels. Daniels from half court. It's well off the mark. And the Bears are going to win it. A tremendous play. Charlie Moore. The lob to Jabari.
That was Thursday night, a dramatic victory for Cal, surviving a double overtime thriller against the University of Utah. There is the California resume coming into this matchup with Colorado today at 16-6, an RPI of number 43. Along with former Arizona standout Corey Williams, Roxy Bernstein with you. All right, the resume right there. What stands out to you about Cal?
Well, they're playing good at the right time. I like the RPI. I like the 3-game win streak. They're playing great defense, and this is when you want to be playing your good basketball. In February, give the selection committee something to look at. Cal's firing on all cylinders right now.
And Cal's won 6 out of 7 heading into this matchup, and Colorado is hot because the Buffs got off to an 0-7 conference start. They're 3-7 now. They've won 3 straight, and Jabari Bird went for a career high 26 against Utah in that ball game on Thursday night. He played 48 minutes against the Runnin' Utes.
Right now, putting forth the effort. He's one of those players, when he has a great night, Cal is almost unbeatable. He missed a couple of shots early, but has stuck with it. Made some game-saving jump shots this season, and none bigger than that alley-oop we saw just against Utah.
Second foul, Lucas Seward. Sam Singer, Cameron Rooks in for Cal. Bryce Peters, a freshman, in for the Buffs. Charlie Moore from deep, and Moore nails his second 3.
Big time shot right there. First time you get a look at his zone, you knock down a 3, it builds confidence.
Moore and Rabb have combined for Cal's 10. And a whistle away from the ball, and a foul called on California. And it's a hold against Sam Singer. There's White playing it in. White on the move, and the scoop rolls off, and the rebound Cameron Rooks. Jabari Bird attacks, the lob to Ivan Rabb, and it's broken up by George King. Freshman Peters for the Buffs. The trail 3. Derek White comes up empty, and Ivan Rabb rips down the rebound. Second board for the Pac-12's leading rebounder. Zone look from Colorado, and Charlie Moore way off on that 3, and George King the rebound for CU. Buffs are going to try to do this today without Xavier Johnson and Wesley Gordon. It's a drive by Bryce Peters, and he'll go to the line for Colorado.
Cal's been successful with the penetration lob, but right there, great reaction by King with the pin. Get that out of here, Mr. Rabb. The Buffs trying different combinations to make up for what you just mentioned, playing without a couple of bigs, going to that zone early to try to cover up.
First foul in Rabb. So Peters, a 59% foul shooter, rattles that one out. As Peters, whose cousin Lamont Murray had a brilliant 3-year career here at Cal. You played against him in your Pac-10 days, as Lamont went on to have a terrific NBA career, and he's the #4 all-time scorer in the history of Cal in the Pac-12 Hall of Honor. And Lamont, when he left Cal, was the all-time leading scorer, but now he's fallen to 4th.
I tell you, he was one of the most prolific scorers I'd ever saw when I was at Arizona. Just a guy who could, you look up at the scoreboard and all of a sudden he's got 20, and it's just the quietest 20, 25 points you've ever seen. He was that smooth.
And of course, also a cousin of Tracy Murray, who had a 12-year NBA run, was a brilliant player at UCLA. Pass deflected by King. Singer recovers. Shot clock rolling down. Grant Mullins from the corner. 3. Third 3 for Cal. Cal's matched their largest lead. Here's Peters. Shot clock at 10. And Josh Fortune, the transfer from Providence, is tripped up. And a foul against California. First on Jabari Bird. But for Colorado, again, no Wesley Gordon today. No Xavier Johnson. They're on the end of the Colorado bench for Tad Boyle, but they're in sweats, and you can tell by their shoes, there they are, that they're not playing today. And those are 2 key players when you look at 2 seniors that are not available for Tad Boyle this afternoon.
About 25 points and 13 boards sitting on the sideline for the Buffs this afternoon.
Colorado over 3 minutes without a field goal. Lucas Seward, the D2, and the freshman with his first points.
Tad Boyle's already gone 8 deep in his rotation. A lot of guys going to see some action. Colorado wants to make this small ball, kind of turn it into a track meet. Because like we talked about, they do not have the size.
Stephen Domingo off on a 3. Georgetown transfer for Cal. Peters the pull-up in transition. And Bryce Peters the bucket. And the Buffs are within 1.
Roxy, they have to continue to hit the glass the way they've been, but that transition play will be there for them. They've got 4 guards on the floor right now.
Thomas Akiezele in as well, sophomore from Belgium for the Buffaloes. Charlie Moore penetrates. Sam Singer to the basket. And a timeout on the floor. It's a 3-point lead for California over the shorthanded Buffaloes.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Samuel Adams. Pursue better.
In the Bay Area on this Super Bowl Sunday, look at the Campanile Tower right in the center of the Cal campus. 15-12, California leads Colorado. Along with Corey Williams, Roxy Bernstein with you. And shorthanded, Colorado, they'll have to deal without Xavier Johnson and Wesley Gordon with Ivan Rabb. How do they do that?
Well, you've got to obviously double team him, make him get rid of the ball, but what it's going to come down to is just heart. They've got to have 4 or 5 guys constantly boxing out to secure the defensive rebound. You don't want the size of California to wear you down where they get offensive rebounds.
Here's Charlie Moore spinning, and Ivan Rabb the follow. Tad Boyle going for his 200th career win today, but doing so without two key seniors, and now Josh Fortune called for a charge.
When there's a turnover out front, it's a problem because there's nobody to get back. And Charlie Moore makes a great open court move, but blows the layup. But the big homie right there, Ivan Rabb, with the finish. Talk about athleticism and quickness. He was up and put that down before anybody else knew what was going on.
And give him credit for hustling and following up that play, because Charlie Moore looked like he could go in for a layup.
Certainly did, but you don't stop and keep playing and see the play through. Ivan Rabb, a lot of hustle plays out of him this season. Block shots, tip dunks, never takes anything for granted. Got a great motor.
Now Cuonzo Martin has some foul difficulties. Jabari Bird just called for his second. He has to head out.
Well, with him going to the bench, he's one of the solutions against that 2-3 zone. It'll be interesting to see who the shots fall to now for Cal on offense against that 2-3 zone.
Cal a little bit shorthanded as well as George King traveled before he gathered and went up for that shot over Kingsley Okoro, as Don Coleman not available today, as he's been bothered by a back issue the last few weeks. And he'll get no sympathy from Tad Boyle at the other end, minus Gordon and Johnson today. And also for Cal, Kingsley Okoro playing with a mask on as he broke his nose in their win against Utah, the double overtime win here Thursday night. Grant Mullins launches. Okoro playing volleyball. But wide open is Charlie Moore. Third three for the freshman.
The very next possession, the offensive rebound followed by the triple as the Bears starting to use their size.
Colorado needs Derek White to get going. Miller in the post and a foul on Kingsley Okoro of Cal. Tory Miller slow to get up.
A lot of movement against the zone, Roxy. When the shot goes up, you got to get a body on someone. And right there, Okoro just plays volleyball, like you said, out to Charlie Moore. And he had all day to dial that up. Cal making its presence felt in the paint. Already knocked down 4 triples.
Cal, the top defensive team in the Pac-12, allowing just 63 points per game. Sam Singer comes away with it. Headmans to Moore. And he stepped on the end line, and it goes right back to CU. Second California turnover. Colorado coming off a win down on the farm against Stanford on Thursday, despite 24 turnovers in that game against the Cardinals. Derek White at 19 to lead the way as the freshman Deleon White missing a 3. And it's Cal with the rebound.
Good possession right there by the Buffs. Got the touch at the high post. Wide open look. Tad Boyd trying to rally his troops, letting them know that's a good shot. Just got to get a defensive stop here.
Shot clock inside 10. Charlie Moore. Singer fires to beat the shot clock and gets a 3. Just his 10th three-pointer of the season. And California leads it by 11.
See the patience of the Cal Bears, not taking shots too quick right here, looking for the open guy. But when it gets to this point, and there's only a couple seconds to go, there's no pressure. You got to shoot it. But Singer makes it happen from downtown.
And Cal, who went 7 of 27 from 3 against Utah on Thursday night, has already made 5 of 12. Now they're reviewing to see if Singer did get it off in time.
Well behind the line, just a question of when he released the ball.
There's no foul or anything, you're just reviewing. Hey, is the free foul right?
And it looks to me clearly, Corey, that he got it out before the shot clock expired.
Yeah, it does look that way. And for Colorado, great position defense for the entire possession. You kind of got to live with a shot like that. Guy's 4 or 5 feet off the line with a second to go and ends up knocking it down.
And a guy who's not known as a great shooter, but yet he makes you pay for it there, and they will count the 3. And it's a 10-0 run for Cal to go up 11.
But Colorado's got a bigger issue offensively. They don't really have a post presence. So they're going to have to rely on guys penetrating and guards creating for each other. They don't have, Xavier Johnson and Gordon available on the block to give them some beef under the bucket. So it's going to come down to how these guards attack the zone and create for one another.
And that puts a lot of the play to Derek White and George King today. Kingsley Okoro breaks it up. Charlie Moore hits the trailer. Mullins has his shot blocked out of bounds.
Cal faithful want a foul. Thought there was a little bit of contact. Once again, the good hands getting the deflection out in transition. But right here, Mullins, Pac-12 is above the rim basketball. You got to get up. Finger rolls won't get it done. Not in this time of the season.
There's Mullins. Grab on the offensive glass. Bird. Drake. And Colorado's in real trouble.
They're in big trouble because Cal is giving them fits from beyond the arc. They're giving up the 3 due to their lack of size, and Cal's making them pay. And they dare not go back to man-to-man because that's when Rav starts going nuts in the paint.
Already 13 second chance points for the Golden Bears. Dominique Collier missing a 3. And a foul going for the rebound. And it's on Colorado, and Cal pulling away. They've scored 13 straight.
Well, they say take what the defense gives you, and Cal says, we'll take all 3 of those.
Well, the three-point shooting, Corey, for Cal setting the tone.
It's been all about ball movement. Cal's done a great job passing, but more importantly, guys are catching it in rhythm, squared up, and it's been nothing but money. The unselfish play, you see the ball getting worked around the perimeter. That is a defensive nightmare, but Cal is absolutely on fire here in the first half.
Cal with 10 field goals. They've assisted on 9 of them. And it hasn't been just a one-man show. Yes, Charlie Moore has hit 3, but Moore has 9 points, 5 assists. But it's been balanced from Cal. And they're taking it to a shorthanded Colorado team playing without Wesley Gordon and Xavier Johnson.
Well, good shooting is contagious. And when your teammates are knocking them down and they swing it to you, you know what your job is.
Here's Bird. His second 3. 7 of 15 from downtown. They're just 4 of 10 on their 2s.
Jabari Bird had such good size that even sometimes when the guard is up on him, he still has clear vision of the rim. That was a perfect example of him just raising up and knocking it down.
16 straight points for Cal to break this game open.
For Colorado, you got to try to find a way to get fouled, manufacture some points.
Kingsley Okoro says get it out of here. And Cal's leading shot blocker.
Right there, you see George King trying to do just that. Get the ball at the high post, create some contact, put some points on the board, and bring an end to this run.
Conzo Martin feels that Kingsley Okoro should be in the conversation for Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year.
And he's got a point. I mean, you've got great on-ball defenders like Arizona's Kadeem Allen, but he does make a lot of plays without getting in foul trouble. He's got excellent timing, blocks a lot of shots, and you see the way he makes offenses adjust. That's the kind of stuff that doesn't show up on a stat sheet.
Oregon's got a couple of guys you could probably throw into that conversation with Chris Boucher and Jordan Bell.
Oh, they're playing volleyball up there in Oregon. It's ridiculous. Yesterday, Arizona came to town, and it was SWAT City. Talk about Jordan Bell, Chris Boucher, great timing, exceptional athletes.
Charlie Moore trying to pick up where Oregon left off with all their 3s yesterday. And it's a 20-point California lead.
It is a party in Haas Pavilion right now. Cal has dialed in on the rim. They're showing no mercy, Roxy. None at all.
Is that why you brought your umbrella today? Because it's raining 3s right now?
I like what you did right there.
I tried to steal from you. You know that. 19 straight points for Cal. And the Buffs Really having it tough right now. Singer called for his second foul. But Colorado's been scoreless for 5.5 minutes without Xavier Johnson and Wesley Gordon today. They're on the bench, but not available to Tad Boyle. And the Buffs not telling us before the ball game what's going on with those two.
Quite a mystery. You're talking about 2 starting big men in a crucial game. You're on a 3-game win streak and unavailable.
Now, Tad Boyle's maneuver with the lineup as of late, you go back to the game against Oregon State when they got their first conference win, and he benched all the starters. And he started the reserves in that game, then went back to his starters when they upset Oregon in Boulder. But it's not the first time Tad Boyle has done that. As Tad Boyle, when he was at Northern Colorado, he benched his starters, but that was for a different reason, because the starters stunk. And he was sending a message. This time it wasn't the starters he was sending a message to. It was the reserves that he needed them to come to the party.
And you know, I applaud that. Anytime you can find a way to reach your players and get more out of them. A lot of people were scratching their heads that game, but you saw the next game against Oregon, the true Colorado team showed up. Just a masterful job. Little bit of psychology there, but that's what it's about, getting the most out of your players, and you get to learn a lot sitting on that bench. When you know you should be in there and you're watching, sometimes you pick up some things and they begin to sink in as Colorado, like we said, winners of 3 straight and playing a little bit better.
Derek White ends the drought for the Buffs. Ivan Rabb hits the 2 from the corner. 8 for Rabb. And again, it's a 20-point Cal lead. They've come out and blitzed Colorado. A short-handed Buffs team. Lucas Seward kicks it out of bounds. Nothing going right for the Buffs.
Well, a lineup change like that immediately forces some guys to play out of position. And that's what you're seeing right now. Guys playing the 3 and 4 that are normally in different positions. And that's just that little bit of hesitation that's making things go wrong offensively. Something like that affects the whole team. It will all afternoon.
Charlie Moore. 5 threes for Charlie Moore, the freshman.
You got to be kidding me. Charlie Moore has struggled with his outside jumper all season. As a matter of fact, that was probably the only thing that you could critique about him. But this afternoon, he's been almost perfect.
Tory Miller the follow for Colorado. Charlie Moore, who went for a Cal freshman record 38 points back in November in a win against UC Irvine. You think about all the fresh players that have come through. He broke Sharif Abdur-Rahim's record. But Charlie Moore has scored the most points ever by a freshman.
And that's some big-time company right there. Sharif Abdur-Rahim, I remember from our era, in Pac-10, before it was the Pac-12, another outstanding Cal scorer.
Foul going for the rebound on Colorado. The Bears are running away with this one.
Pac-12 standings heating up. A lot of big games in the next couple of weeks, but none bigger than that one right now.
We're in the Bay Area for this Pac-12 matchup, and California is sticking it to Colorado right now. The Bears are 9 of 18 from 3. They have 14 field goals, 11 assists. Charlie Moore, 15 points, 6 assists. The freshman for Cal is torching the Buffaloes. Grant Mullins in and out. And the rebound falls to Dominic Collier, and here comes CU. Step back from Collier. And Cameron Rooks with the rebound. Cal started just 2 of 9 from the floor, but since they're shooting 60%. Roger Mute Obedius is in, the senior from Cameroon. And the brother of Luke Richard Mbah Mute, who's now in the NBA. Rick Rooks underneath.
And that's just size right there. Cameron Rooks was boxed out, but still able to get to the ball.
Josh Fortune a 3. But minus Wesley Gordon and Xavier Johnson, plus Lucas Seward now on the bench with 3 fouls. Tad Boyle's got nowhere to turn.
Nowhere to turn, but right now, collectively, they've got to try to man the boards and get out and run. As you see another entry to the post.
The roll for Brooks. Tory Miller. Falling away, Tory Miller, nice move. And Miller, who had a strong game at Stanford on Thursday, trying to follow that up here in Berkeley. And this is what Colorado's missing without Gordon and Johnson today.
You're talking about rebounds that aren't being picked up, points that aren't being scored, guys trying to rotate over and cover up. It's really hard because you're talking about 2 very good big men in Pac-12 play.
Tory Miller, 8.6 rebounds. Not just the scoring, but Wesley Gordon, the rebounder and the shot blocker. He's second in Colorado history in blocks. As the free throw rattles out for Miller. Somehow Grant Mullins kept the dribble alive.
Globetrotter action out here by the Bears.
The lob for Rabb. Poor pass by Okoro.
Bucks have to go with this, Roxy. They can't afford to set the offense. They've gotten themselves in a pretty deep hole, but they've got a quicker lineup. See if they can create some good looks.
Bryce Peters draws a foul. And fouls on Charlie Moore of Cal. And the freshman whistled for his second, and it's Peters to the line. So Peters double figures in 3 of the last 7 games for Colorado after none of the first 13. Starting to emerge here midway toward the end of his freshman year, and Colorado really excited about Bryce Peters growing as a player.
And they should, because he's got a lot of energy, good athleticism. Like you say, freshman year is a learning curve, but he's been improving throughout the season.
And it belongs to Colorado. Last touch by Ivan Rabb.
And Roxy, right now, if you're the Bucks, you're looking for a couple of high notes to go into half, a couple of plays, probably get a bucket here, maybe a stop and another bucket before half. You need to finish this half on a strong note.
Foul. It's on Mute Abedius. Colorado back to the line as they're in the bonus. Bucks just 3 of 8 though at the line. And Cal has not shot a free throw yet. They're up by 20.
Well, they don't foul him on the wide open threes, and the rest have been dunks and layups. So right now, that in-between shot, Cal hasn't had to settle for that. They've either had all or nothing. Point blanks or wide open looks.
One more for Derek White. Rivalry week starts Monday on ESPN, an ACC Big 12 doubleheader. Number 6 Louisville and number 9 Virginia at 7. Then it's to the Sunflower Showdown between number 3 Kansas and K-State. Big Monday presented by eBay. On ESPN, also streaming live in the ESPN app and watch ESPN.
Well, you can't really call anything in the Big 12 this year. All of those games.
How about that thriller in Lawrence yesterday?
Oh, man, coming down to the wire, there are no gimmies in that conference at all.
What a win for Steve Prohm at Iowa State. Ivan Rabb, 5-second call. Rather, Domingo trying to put the ball in, and a 5-second call against California.
And this is what we're talking about for Colorado. Get a stop, get some free throws. Now they're going to call timeout, set their offense. Try to get something going here and work on this lead that the Bears have built.
So the three-pointer's been prevalent, Corey, for Cal, but there's so much focus on Ivan Rabb when you're defending California.
Well, you've got to know that Rabb is going to do things, but he's a guy who finds a way. We've seen him be double-teamed. We've seen him be trapped, but he's such an active player. He doesn't have to have plays run for him. He makes things happen. Putbacks, wide-open shots, post-ups. Ivan Rabb is the complete package, and no matter what, night after night after night, he delivers for Cal regardless of the defensive scheme.
Pac-12's leading rebounder. Double-double in each of the last 2 games for Rabb, who was Pac-12 Player of the Week back in early January.
And we're talking with Cuonzo Martin about him. Not a greedy player. Doesn't demand the ball. Just goes out and makes it happen.
Derek White knocks it down from outside the arc. And he has 10 of Colorado's 26.
A little bit of a press right here. Colorado would love to get this down to around 10 or 11 points before the half. That would be a moral victory for them.
Wide open is Grant Mullins. Josh Fortune on the run out. Pull up three in transition, and Grant Mullins clears.
And that's a good shot right there. Wide open, you had a little momentum, good clean look.
And Cal will take a timeout with 37.7 left in the half. Cal's led by as many as 23. It's a 15-point lead over Tad Boyle's Buffaloes. Cal, who has won 3 straight, 6 out of 7. Trying to hang in this conference race as we look at the stars from around the conference over the weekend and some big performances yesterday. And of course, everybody pointed to that matchup in Eugene where Oregon blitzed Arizona as a barrage of threes, and Tyler Dorsey went 6 of 6 outside the arc. Had a huge performance for the Ducks. And also yesterday in the Conference of Champions, Chimezie Metu a career-high 29 as SC went to Pullman with a win. Lonzo Ball as UCLA hammered Washington. And Reed Travis 26 as Stanford knocked off Utah. Rough weekend for the Runnin' Utes here in the Bay Area.
Very rough for Utah to come in here and not get a win. But Oregon absolutely shelled Arizona, and Tyler Dorsey was unbelievable. That game was over 10 minutes after tip-off.
Sam Singer off the screen. Left it short, off the tip. Singer brings it back out. The Bears reset, now can play for the last shot of the half.
The Bucks have had some stops the last 2 or 3 minutes. That was a perfect opportunity to grab that rebound and play for the last shot, but it's Cal who will set this offense.
It was a 1-point game. Inside 11:40 left in the half. 13-12 Cal. Grant Mullins. Singer, desperation shot. The follow by Bird falls off. And we go to halftime, and it's a 15-point Cal lead as the Bears have outscored Colorado 28-14 since it was a 1-point game.
The Bears are starting to run away, but some signs of life from Colorado the last 4 or 5 minutes of the half. See if they can build on that and get closer to Cal.
So first half for Cal led by as many as 23. It's a 15-point Cal lead, led by the freshman Charlie Moore, 5 threes in the first half.
Well, it's definitely been his night. Charlie Moore has been dialing it up from everywhere. The freshman with the hot hand, making the Buffs pay.
(41-26) California in the lead as we're getting ready to start the second half. In Berkeley, this Pac-12 tilt between the Golden Bears and the Buffs. Now for the game track, brought to you by Zales. And in the absence of Wesley Gordon and Xavier Johnson, Colorado really needs Derek White to pick up the slack. He was slow to get going, but leads Colorado, while Charlie Moore a magnificent first half.
Well, you can't say enough about Charlie Moore. The way he's played, unbelievable. Not only has he taken shots, he's created shots for others. Alley-oop, lobs, penetration, dish has been all over the court for the Bears.
Along with former Arizona standout Corey Williams, Roxy Bernstein with you, and it really handcuffs Tad Boyle in Colorado. You don't have your best shot blocker and rebounder, Wesley Gordon. Xavier Johnson, a fifth-year senior, not available to you, who's a good inside-outside threat. What do you do?
Well, you got to try something. Right now, that situation's thrown off the entire rhythm for Colorado offensively. Guys just have to dig deep. You got to play guys out of position. But at this point, it's all hands on deck for the Buffs. They're a good team, talented, they're deep, but right now, they're going to have to find a solution for Charlie Moore. Started the game early with some wide open looks, and when you're playing on your home court, all it takes is one to get hot. And Cal kept finding him, and boy, did he knock it down. 15 points for the freshman, no hesitation. He struggled with his shot early in the season, but man, has he found his range tonight.
15 points, 6 assists for Moore, and 5 of 7 outside the arc. Cal hit 9 threes in the first half, but did not shoot a free throw. They had 12 assists on 16 field goals.
Question is, will that hot shooting continue for the Bears, and can Colorado put together some stops and get some transition buckets?
Splitting a double team as Jabari Bird missing the leaner. And here comes Colorado and Josh Fortune. Derek White recovers.
They have George King wide open on that. He missed him. Charlie Moore on King is a mismatch. We'll see if the Buffs go to that.
Here's King. Got it back. Then has his shot blocked. Derek White hits.
Good opening sequence right there for the Buffs. They got the stop on the defensive end, plus 2 points. As they all glance up at the scoreboard as they get back on defense.
9 straight for Colorado going back to the first half, and Derek White just went over 2,300 career college points between his stint at Division II, Colorado Springs, now playing his only season at CU.
Saw 3 Buffs up for that defensive rebound. That's a nice shot.
Tory Miller, an offensive foul for an illegal screen. And it's the first on the junior Miller. So Tad Boyle going for his 200th career win today. And they've won 3 straight after an 0-7 start to the conference, but no Xavier Johnson on your left and Wesley Gordon on your right.
And I hate to keep stressing it, but that's huge. I mean, they had the 2 games on the Washington trip where they lost by 2 points. For the same money, they could be on a 5-game winning streak, but a game like today,
Jabari Bird to the hoop.
A game like today is one where they could have turned the corner and really made some headwind. But to go out here shorthanded, very difficult.
Derek White, he put up 50 in a game when he played at Colorado Springs, now has 14.
He may have to try to pull some of that out tonight.
He's had 8 20-point games already this season. And it's got to be on his shoulders that Colorado makes a surge and has a chance to win here. Bird way off, but there's Rabb and an offensive foul going for the rebound, and it's on Rabb, his second.
And sometimes, Roxy, you know, when I played out of position. I was a small forward. I played the power forward spot. A lot of times, all you have to do is get yourself in position and let the refs do the rest, and that's what you saw right there. Get the defender behind you, jump up for the rebound, and hope that you can get an over-the-back call.
You were alluding to Colorado, Corey. A win today could have made things interesting because they were 10-3 through the non-conference. They beat Xavier, they beat Texas. As Derek White heating up. But then they were 0-7 to start conference play and had a horrible schedule as Conzo Martin takes time, and the schedule did him no favors. Maybe they've recovered, and a win today for Colorado. All of a sudden they're heading home for a couple of games. Could be back in the middle of things. Majority of those losses were within 1 basket, and they have opportunities. 5 of their next 7 are at home, and Derek White is the guy that needs to lead them today in the absence of Gordon and Johnson.
Well, he's a one-on-one player with a lot of skills. You see that pull-up jumper he has. He can get to the rim. He can shoot behind the ball screen. And right now, he's got the green light. There is nobody else right now for Colorado. He has to score.
That's what's left on the docket. We'll be in Boulder next Sunday for that game against the Cougars. They've already beaten Oregon, which is really the win. Yeah, they beat Oregon State, but then they beat Oregon, which has really kick-started them again, giving them momentum. And getting down 23 here at Cal, they've cut it to 11.
Well, this is a team that is much better than advertised. It's kind of a Jekyll and Hyde situation. Whichever Buffs team shows up, the team that beat Oregon or the team in the first half that was really not playing up to par, letting Cal get a lot of wide open looks. But right now, you're right. They found a little bit of a rhythm. See if they can make a run.
There's Rabb and Josh Fortune the rebound. Derek White scored the last 11 points for Colorado.
Rox, the danger for the Bears is they saw so many shots fall in that in the second half, no one's going to the offensive glass. There you saw another jumper where no Bears went to the rim.
Derek White has scored the last 13 points for the Buffaloes.
And he's going right to the rim. But Cal cannot be satisfied. You live by the 3, you could die by it. When the shot goes up, they've got the size to crash the offensive glass.
And it's down to a 9-point game. And Colorado comes away with the loose ball. Dominique Collier. George King. And a foul is called, and King will go to the line, and that's 3 on Ivan Rabb with 16:12 to play. Boy, this game has really turned.
And George King has been trying to do that all game. He's a big player with a great first step. He's got size. He knows exactly what to do here. Take it right to the rim, dive to the chest, and try to draw the foul. And the Buffs have done a lot to come back so far in this game.
And George King, a 64% foul shooter who was scoreless at Stanford on Thursday, gets his first point of this ball game. And Rabb goes to the bench with his 3 fouls.
And with Ivan Rabb on ice, it'll be up to Jabari Bird and Charlie Moore to manufacture some offense during this stretch for the Cal Bears. And here's a little press for Colorado.
And it's a 7-point ball game. Okoro saves it. Charlie Moore drives, and a foul is called.
For Colorado, things are turning around because of one man, Derek White, on a mission as the Buffs come roaring back.
Take a look at the Wendy's Wooden Watch or mid-season top 25 candidates. Use the hashtag Wooden Watch when sharing your thoughts on the top candidates, and 5 of them from the Pac-12.
And out of that list, I think Lonzo Ball and Dylan Brooks are going to be permanent stays. The other players all sensational, but right now, both UCLA and Oregon looking great, winning basketball games, and those guys being major contributors. Lauri Markkanen obviously very good as well, but Dylan and Lonzo having stellar seasons.
Markelle Fultz having a phenomenal season, although the Huskies are really struggling.
That's why I said, you know, talking about the combination of talent plus winning. Colorado, a little aggressive trap coming out of the timeout.
Ivan Rabb on the bench with his 3 fouls. Cal's just won their last 9, and Colorado on a 17-2 run to cut it to 7. Cal once led by 23 in the first half. Charlie Moore. Stephen Domingo was wide open, and he hits a 3. Domingo was 2 for his last 26 outside the arc.
He was all alone on that 3. He had enough time to set the laces.
And Josh Fortune will head to the foul line. Foul is on Charlie Moore. His 3rd foul. And Colorado, 7 of 11 at the line. Fortune shooting 2 is an 86% foul shooter. And Cal has not shot a free throw yet in this game.
They've been living beyond the line, knocking down jump shots, and when they haven't been jump shots, they've been layups and dunks. Cal hasn't had to force the issue and draw fouls, but Lonzo Martin wants to see his team a little more aggressive. Hopefully they won't certainly finish the game with no free throws.
So Moore on the bench with his 3 fouls. And you look at this Cal lineup right now, and other than Jabari Bird, where are the points going to come from?
Got to come from dribble penetration. Guys cannot hesitate. Even though you're a role player, in this stretch with this lineup, your role is to shoot the ball. Let's go, man. Come on, go.
Shot clock at 5. Singer with the left hand, Sam Singer.
That was a sweet move right there. Singer with the shot clock winding down. Anticipated some defense, but the nice lefty finger roll.
George King attacks, and it's cleared by Bird. Nice pass by Grant Mullins, dropped in by Cameron Rooks.
And they have to use the big fella Rooks. He's got no one out there his size.
Derek White from deep. Josh Fortune, the offensive rebound. And the deflection is controlled by Domingo and Cal.
Both Fortune and King trying to get to the free throw line, taking it to the rim. Neither one of them successful.
Singer lost the handle. Fortune leads a 2-on-1. George King the reverse and one. Third foul on Bird.
King did not get the whistle a couple of plays ago, but on this steal in the open court, the crowd does not like the call as there was no contact at all. But King will get three the hard way.
You can hear the crowd and their frustration. It didn't appear that there was much contact, if any.
You got that replay on the scoreboard in all four directions, and no Bear fan in this stadium believes that was a foul. But I thought King got fouled on the prior possession, but what do I know? I never think the refs get it right.
It's a 9-point game. Charlie Moore, Ivan Rabb on the bench with 3 fouls. Jabari Bird playing with 3. Colorado without Xavier Johnson and Wesley Gordon. Here's Rooks. Singer from deep. Mullins tracks down the rebound and darts to the basket.
Tough possession for the Bucks. They played great defense and got the miss, but Mullins on the spot for Cal.
Loose ball, out of bounds. No, a foul is called. And it's on Stephen Domingo of Cal. His first. And Cal's got some foul trouble with Bird, Moore, and Rabb 3 apiece. 5 team fouls on Cal here in the second half, and that trio's combined for 31 of the 52.
And that's why these buckets by Singer and Mullen for Cal are huge. With Rabb on the bench, every score for Cal buys them more time so they can come back with the big guns.
Lucas Seward for 3. Tipped out of bounds by DeLeon Brown. And it's a Cal ball. There's Cameron Rooks. It's the cutting Sam Singer, the reverse. 9 for Singer.
Gotta work through the big man, Roxy. No one can stop Rooks, so you have to pay attention to him on the crab dribble. He makes a great pass right there.
His dad, the late Sean Rooks, your former teammate in Arizona.
Unbelievable talent, great guy.
Lucas Seward recovers for the Buffs. Shot clock at 5. Bryce Peters. And here's Grant Mullins on the defensive glass and looks to push it for Cal. Mullins goes coast to coast, and Peters clears for the Buffs. Seward is open. 3 for Lucas Seward.
Colorado starting to believe here in the second half. Plenty of time. That was a quick shot by Mullins. Kind of got ahead of himself. But Cal willing to come down, run the motion offense. Get a good shot every trip.
Shot clock inside 10. Singer to Bird. Rooks underneath. Bird the offensive rebound. Powers his way back up.
Well, in the time time of offensive drought for California. Jabari Bird stays at it on the glass, and he gets an and one. Cal fighting back.
Michael Smith and Jamel Hill want you to join them for the new 6 o'clock Sports Center on ESPN. They're bringing their own brand of style and personality, sports, music, movies, more. The party starts Monday, as always. The 6 is available streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. Think of the promos for the 6 where it takes 2.
Awesome. That's old school. You know your old
MC Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock.
I was just gonna say, you know your old school hip hop, right?
Gotcha.
Absolutely. We've had many a car ride.
Yes.
I've been impressed.
Thank you. First free throw of the game for Cal with 11 minutes remaining. And it's Bird for an and one, a 72% foul shooter. Derek White leads Colorado with 18. 15 from Charlie Moore to lead Cal, but he's on the bench with 3 fouls and has not scored here in the second half. Ivan Rabb also has been sitting for a while with 3.
And the Bears have switched it up to a zone. We'll see if Colorado can deliver a 3 or a big basket.
Tough shot for Tory Miller, challenged by Rooks, and Cal clears the air ball.
But do a little more to draw a foul there. Falling away from the rim, the ref's not going to give you that call.
Jabari Bird is open. Had a good look. Tory Miller clears. Josh Fortune, a tough shot from the corner. Missed everything. Fortune's had a rough time the last few weeks. He was the starter at the beginning of the year. Has fallen out of the lineup. Ivan Rabb at the table getting set to return. Shot clock rolling down as Bird called for a charge. 4 fouls and Bird with 9:41 to go.
Great defensive footwork right here. This is what you want to do if you're a defender. You keep your hands away from the ball. Just move your feet. Right there takes him right on the chest. Textbook charge. Easy call for the official, but more importantly, Jabari Bird, who's been a crucial scorer for Cal, will have to take a seat with just under 10 minutes to go. But you get back superstar Ivan Rabb on the court for the Bears.
So Moore and Rabb back in as Bird goes to the bench with the 4. Derek White getting a breather right now for Tad Boyle in the bus.
Colorado's got to find a way to solve this zone and get a good look.
To the basket, left short by DeLeon Brown. And a travel is called on George King.
Wow, that's great hustle by George King. Come flying in out of nowhere to grab that offensive rebound. Just couldn't keep his feet. Ended up falling to the ground. But Colorado, the last 3 or 4 possessions have come up empty-handed. These are situations where had they been able to chip away at the lead, they'd be in pretty good shape right now.
Shot clock at 10. Isolating Rabb. Working on King. Nice up and under by Ivan Rabb, who missed it. But he tips the rebound to himself. Goes back to work. And a foul is called on Dominic Collier of Colorado, his first.
Well, this is just a case of great offense and good defense. King goes straight up, gets Carr off his feet. Rabb misses the bunny, but keeps it alive. The Bears will have another look. They go right back to the big man.
Here's Rabb. Bodied up by King. And a foul doubling down. It's on DeLeon Brown. First on the freshman from Grand Rapids, Michigan. 6 team fouls. Rather 5 team fouls on Colorado.
George King is really all over Ivan Rabb, totally accepting the defensive challenge.
Knocked away from Rabb. 3-on-2. Collier to the basket. Fouled by Mullins. First on Grant Mullins and Dominique Collier. Going right to the basket. Cal never stopped the ball.
They never picked up the ball, but it starts for Colorado on defense. That low center of gravity. He's got a height disadvantage, but he stays low. Grab stumbles a little bit, and the Buffs are off to the races with the turnover.
71% foul shooter Collier, the junior from Denver, who's had a season interrupted by a foot injury that cost him 9 games. He started now 5 of the last 6 in his 49th career start today. Led Colorado in assists and steals last year. Ten-point game.
The Buffs still have Derek White available as he heads to the scorer's table to see if he can bring some energy to this offense. But right now, Colorado trying to D up.
Charlie Moore the miss. Cameron Rooks may get credit for the tip, but it may have gone off a Buff.
I think it was.
Tory Miller may have knocked that one in.
Trying to get a hand on it, ended up putting it in.
Collier's open. Cam Rooks clears it. Charlie Moore had it stripped by Thomas Akiazili and run down by DeLeon Brown. Singer nearly had a steal. Falls off for George King, and Tory Miller powers his way back up and will head to the line as Colorado a bit short-handed. They're not quitting. They're coming at this Cal team.
They are coming at Cal, trying to get everything they can in the lane. Even on the defensive end, sometimes it goes wrong. Miller scoring for the Bears.
Ducks right on the top of the conference with Arizona. That was the only meeting in the regular season yesterday at Matthew Knight Arena. So right now, Oregon technically would be in the lead because of the tiebreaker, but UCLA trying to hang in there, and so is Cal. A win today, and Cal's right there tied with UCLA. Now the Bruins and Cal played already this season. Their only meeting was in LA, and UCLA beat Cal.
It's an important run for the Golden Bears of Cal, this being a league that a lot of people think will get 4 teams in the NCAA tournament. If they can stay among those top 4, bodes well for Punzo Morton and his squad.
And keep in mind, Cal beat USC on the road. Now the Trojans did not have Benny Boatwright in their only regular season meeting. And right now, Joe Lunardi has 4 Pac-12 teams in. Cal, despite their win Thursday against Utah, falling from the first 4 out to the next 4 out. Still a month to go at least. Cal trying to get their 17th win here today. Grant Mullins on the move, up and under, swatted away by Derek White, and a shot clock violation. Cal's 10th turnover.
Roxy, we've seen Cal be outstanding at late possession buckets in the first half with the shot clock winding down. They hit 4 or 5 shots in the first half. The exact opposite here in the second half. They're running deep into the possession, not getting good looks.
Tory Miller with 10 points, tying a season high. Also career high 9 rebounds. Derek White hanging, and his shot changed by Ivan Rabb.
White trying to draw another foul on Ivan Rabb, unsuccessful.
Charlie Moore draws a foul in the pass. Cal has turned the ball over 4 times in their last 5 possessions prior to that one. The first foul on Bryce Peters. That's the 6th team foul against the Buffs. The next one puts Cal into the bonus. Ready? Ari Bird back in the game, playing with 4 fouls. Lucas Seward for Colorado playing with 4. Bird launches, forced that shot, and it's out of bounds, and it's a Colorado ball.
The Buffs have settled in defensively in the second half, contesting shots. They're rebounding as a team right now. Only a 5 or 6 rebound advantage, despite missing 2 of their best players on the interior. Can't say enough about the effort from Colorado. We'll see if they can get over the hump here.
No Xavier Johnson, no Wesley Gordon. As Peters makes it an 8-point game as the freshman with a deep 2.
A little playground pull-up right there. One dribble pull-up. Tad Boyle up, clapping his team on, trying to get one more stop. Colorado is close as, hasn't been this close in a while.
Peters, just like his cousin Lamont Murray used to do right here in Berkeley, is Charlie Moore, a freshman for Cal, with the answer.
The magician. I think sometimes he's so small, he gets lost behind that ball screen. The next thing you know, he's right at the rim.
His first points of the second half. He leads Cal with 17. Peters, pull up. George King! Wow!
I'm not surprised. He put one down in Boulder a few weeks back. That was another SC top 10. But right there, George King, physical, size, athleticism. You got to box him out.
Charlie Moore swatted by Tory Miller. 8 to shoot, out of bounds, Cal.
When you got a guard going behind a ball screen, everybody can't find him. He weaves his way down the lane, the magician. But at the other end, shot goes up and everybody's watching except George King with the hammer. Trying to get his team fired up here for the last 4:36.
Shot clock at 5. Grab from the corner. And a foul, and it's over the back on Kingsley Okoro of Cal, his second.
I don't know that I like that call. Okoro just working hard, trying to get the offensive rebound. Didn't really seem to go over the back, but the Buffs will shoot some free throws here. And boy, you can't ask for anything better if you're Colorado. Play good defense, get a chance to put some points on the board with no time off the clock.
Okoro heads to the bench. A 1-and-1 for Lucas Seward, a 50% foul shooter. Making a second start here today in the absence of Johnson and Gordon. And the freshman from Brazil gets one more.
Those are big free throws right here. Psychologically, when you're out there and you see it's a 2-possession game, you change mentally. And right now, if Colorado can somehow get this to a 6-point game after everything they've been through, it'd be huge.
And it is a 6-point game. The closest Tad Boyle's team has been since it was 17-12. Colorado shot 20 free throws to Cal's 2. Here's Charlie Moore. Knocked free, picks it up. Steven Domingo. And a foul on George King. Domingo will shoot 3, and you can't commit a foul like that.
3 letters, Roxy. KYP. Know your personnel. Late in the possession, you got Domingo spotting up. He's not exactly a flamethrower like Jabari Bird. You can test it and try to rebound. George King commits the foul. He'll get 3 free throws. Chance to stop a little bit of that Buff momentum they've picked up.
Domingo, believe it or not, is only a 36% foul shooter. But he's a much better shooter than that. His confidence has just been so low this year. He did hit a 3 in the first half. But this is a guy's reputation as a good shooter. It's just never really developed. Left high school a year early to go to Georgetown. Played 2 years for the Hoyas, then transferred to Cal, and is finishing up here. Eight-point game as Domingo makes 2 of 3.
See if Colorado and Derek White can create a little offense as Cal stays in that zone.
Ivan Rabb takes it right from Tory Miller. Is that a steal or is that a block?
Call it what you want. That's a great defensive play by Rabb, who has foul trouble, but still, we've seen it night after night, making great plays around the post when his team needs it.
Charlie Moore throws it away. Bryce Peters pushes. Derek White at 3. Got it! 23-point game.
You cannot lose Derek White in transition. He is the best scorer right now on the floor for the Bucks. He's had a rest. Tad Boyle has him in for crunch time, and he's trying to deliver.
A 23-point lead in the first half, and it's down to 5. Grant Mullins spots up. Out of bounds. It stays with Cal. 2:50 to go, and the Bucks, they're hanging in there.
They are hanging in indeed. Colorado fighting back against the Cal Bears. Derek White from downtown. Give me all 3.
Rivalry week rolls on Tuesday on ESPN, an SEC Big Ten doubleheader. Malik Monk and number 8 Kentucky host LSU at Rupp. Then we head to Ann Arbor, Michigan State, Michigan, a rivalry that goes back to 1909. Super Tuesday presented by CenturyLink on ESPN, also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. All right, Corey, this was a 23-point game. Colorado playing without Xavier Johnson, no Wesley Gordon. They have it down to 5 behind Derek White. What else has gone right for Colorado to make this a game?
Well, they picked up the intensity. George King started to score for them. Derek White started to score, but they've gotten stops defensively. In the first half, they were just taking the ball out of bounds after made threes. But right now, you're seeing them rebound as a team. They're fighting. They're getting steals, creating turnovers. Colorado's begun to believe with this small unit, and they've been able to get it done.
And it's points off turnovers that have helped Colorado get back in. It was 16-0 in points off turnovers to start the game since it's 17-2 Buffs.
Well, Roxy, you've seen Colorado's offense change. They're starting to hesitate a little bit. They're not sure where to pass the ball. The first half was all instincts as they just made it happen.
Grant Mullins open. Big shot for the Bears.
Just what the doctor ordered. Charlie Moore off the ball screen. Unselfish play. Big-time shot. Little breathing room for the Bears.
11-3 for Cal, the second for Mullins. And it's an 8-point game. Derek White missing a good look, and Cameron Rooks clears inside, and a foul. It's on Tory Miller, his 3rd. And that will put Rooks in the line for a 1-and-1.
What makes Cal so dangerous is they can beat you a lot of different ways. This is right here believing in your teammates. Moore turned the corner and gave it up. Mullins with the big triple. Sometimes guys turn the corner and want to keep it, but right there, trust in your teammates. Big time shot by Mullins.
8 points, 6 rebounds for Cameron Rooks. Missed 10 games with a knee injury midseason. A 1-and-1. The 52%er will get the bonus.
Those are big shots because he's not known to be a great free throw shooter.
9 points now for Rooks. Battled injuries throughout his Cal career. George King, the rebound. Here's Derek White. Cal switches up to a zone.
And that's a good move. It kind of neutralizes Colorado, forces them to take a little bit of time.
Deep 3 from White. And it's Miller with a tap out. Peters off on a 3, and there's Derek White. And a foul on Rooks, who can't believe it.
Boy, Roxy, I'm very impressed with the fight that's in Colorado. They had every reason to fold up and go away in the first half, but then plays like this where they get offensive rebounds and keep hustling and end up getting free throws, showing a lot of heart.
White now 5 of 5 at the line. 22 for the senior from Parker, Colorado. And again, he was a 2-time Division II All-American, and it's flourishing in his only season for Colorado.
He's taking the court with some big-time talent. Kind of didn't know where to fit in, but man, does he have the ability to score.
Timeout, Cal. And a minute 39 to go. It's a 7-point game. So 7-point lead. The pressure coming, and Cal's had issues with it. For Colorado, defensively, you keep that full court pressure on?
You keep the full court pressure on because you're trying to create a quick shot. Now, Cal has shot the ball well from the outside, but they also want to burn some clock. They've got the great point guard play of Charlie Moore. You want to make him give it up, get the ball in the hands of somebody who's not a great shooter, somebody who's a little shaky. Maybe try to get it to Rooks and commit the foul, hoping that he misses at the free throw line. But you're going to need some type of turnover here in this last minute 39 because the Bears aren't going to shoot themselves in the foot.
Cal's won 3 in a row, 6 of their last 7. Heading on the road, they're at Arizona State next. That's coming up Wednesday night right here on ESPNU. And Colorado, they've won 3 straight after an 0-7 conference start. And we'll see them in Boulder next Sunday on Pac-12 After Dark. Some Sunday night hoops for you. So Washington Schools head to Boulder. Charlie Moore breaks it. 10-man's to Rabb and a foul on Derek White. His second, and Rabb heading to the line. And a look at the schedule for Cal. 3 straight road games for California after 3 consecutive home games.
And you look at what's left for the Bears, there's a lot of games on that schedule they feel they can pick up. Obviously, they think they've got a great chance against Arizona State. Going to Arizona will be tough. The rivalry at Stanford, then they come home for Oregon. California wanting to stay in that top half of the Pac-12.
Rabb a 1-and-1 on the 9th team foul. And Rabb gets his first point of the second half. One more coming for the local product from Oakland. And he gets the roll in the second. Now in double figures with 10 to go with 8 rebounds. 9-point game. White, the leaner. Timeout Buffs. So Derek White with his 9th 20-point game of the season. He has gotten over 2,300 career points here today between his career at Colorado Springs and Boulder. 15 of his 25 coming in the second half. And he was a prolific scorer. 2-time Division II All-American, averaged just under 26 points per game in his junior year. And Derek White threw up 35 against Arizona State earlier this year. And Corey, it's a guy that grew 4 inches between his senior high school and freshman year of college and blossomed at the Division II level.
Well, he's an outstanding player, and he's playing alongside good players at Colorado, but now you see how he scores all those points. He can do it any kind of way. Spot up threes, on the penetration, great ball handler, can finish. And Colorado has needed every one of his efforts tonight because in the second half, he's been absolutely outstanding.
And interesting that Tad Boyle put him on the bench right now with the bucket and timeout, and Bird having trouble. Just does get it into Stephen Domingo. And they foul Rabb, but Domingo may have been the guy you wanted to foul.
Yeah, they missed
third foul on George King.
Yeah, they missed an opportunity to send Domingo to the line. Ivan Rabb just knocked down his last 2.
And now the double bonus. So Rabb will shoot 2 with a minute 22 to go, and White at the table getting set to return. So interesting that Tad Boyle taking advantage of that timeout to substitute defense for offense there. Put the freshman Daleon Brown in the game. And Rabb rolls it in. Now 3 of 3 at the line.
Colorado wants to go fast after these free throws, but Cal's been in that 1-2-2 press that forces them to take some time.
One more shot. Trying to make it a 9-point game. 2 strong. Derek White the rebound. See if they can capitalize. White missing a tough 3, and Rabb the rebound. And they foul Grant Mullins. That's probably not the guy you want to foul, as Mullins, an outstanding shooter at 73% from the line. Second foul on Dominique Collier. Mullins shooting 2, the senior, the graduate transfer from Columbia. More for Mullins. He had a huge 3 here in the second half. Started the last 10 games now for Cuonzo Martin. And he's in double figures with 10. And the lead is 10. Peters to the basket and the finish. Timeout Colorado. It's Bryce Peters, the nice move.
Seeing why Colorado's excited about that young man, that athleticism. Good strong take to the hole when he realizes, hey, nobody's coming over to rotate. Grabs out of the paint. Send it in. The Buffs will get a chance to set that pressure.
Just like his cousin Lamont Murray used to do right here.
A little bit. I saw a little too much of Lamont Murray back in the day.
Maybe not quite the shooter at this point Lamont or Tracy Murray was.
And a different hairstyle as well.
Yeah.
I think times have changed.
Or even Lamont Murray Jr. is having a terrific season for Pepperdine.
Yeah, and he's got a great game too. Reminiscent of his dad, very smooth, pull-ups, everything under control.
The flashbacks I have while watching Lamont Murray Jr. play.
It's uncanny.
It's remarkable. The movement and the idiosyncrasies the two of them have. Final minute, and a foul will put Mullins back to the line. And fouls on George King, his 4th. 8-point lead for Cal. 59.6 remaining, and Cuonzo Martin, Cal trying to win their 4th in a row and make it 7 out of 8 with a win here. And that run for Cal, Corey, started when we were in LA and saw them hang on for what's probably their best win when you look at their resume right now at USC back in early January.
That was a gutsy win for Cal. Came down to the final plays. Ivan Rabb made some big moves and big block at the end, and that kind of lit the fuse for this run that Cal's been on. And make no mistake, they're headed to Arizona, and they're not trying to split. They're trying to get 2 wins. Arizona escaped here earlier this season.
Dominique Collier 3. And a foul called as it's down to 7. And it's on George King, who was fouled out. King fouls out with 51.1 remaining. And for Tad Boyle, again, no Xavier Johnson, no Wesley Gordon today. They're on the bench in street clothes, or sweats that are available to play. And we haven't been given a reason or an explanation of why they're not available for Colorado. One more coming for Mullins.
Very interesting situation. A couple of young men all of a sudden unavailable. They're in the middle of a road trip to the Bay, but it is what it is. And Colorado, despite that, fought extremely hard this afternoon as we're in the middle of the free throw parade for this last 51 seconds. But you talk about players that make impact, there's no doubt those are 2 guys that make a huge impact on every Pac-12 game.
9-point game. Here's Derek White. Collier from deep. And Ivan Rabb the rebound. And they foul Mullins again. They had an opportunity to foul Rabb, and Colorado keeps fouling the wrong guy.
Absolutely. I mean, sending Mullins to the line is like putting 2 points on the scoreboard. They missed a couple of opportunities to foul Domingo and then to foul Rabb.
Now Lucas Seward fouls out with 7 points. And it's Mullins who is 6 of 6 to the line. Chance to put it back to double figures here. And he does. And Cal playing without one of their sparks today is Don Coleman, not available, dealing with a back issue, which has plagued him for the last few weeks. Not in uniform for Cuonzo Martin today. Mullins now with 16, and the lead is 11. Pull up from Peters. And there's Rabb, the rebound. And Grant Mullins trying to run away from the Buffaloes and run some clock. And now it appears Colorado's called off the Dogs. Cal, who led it by 23, and the Buffs cut it all the way down to 5. A tremendous effort by Colorado on the road, but Cal is enough to hang on and get a big win. So the Buffs' winning streak ends at 3, and Cal's won 4 straight. The Bears have also won 7 out of 8, and they're 8-3 in conference play.
Got to tip your hat to the Colorado Buffs, but more importantly, Cal keeping the win streak alive.
77-66, Cal with the win. Coming up next, women's basketball, USF in Memphis. For Corey Williams, Roxy Bernstein, so long from Berkeley.